On August 9th, Indivisible Boca Raton had an unexpected guest during our Geo Group protest at Boca Raton City Hall. Oliver Larkin, a Democratic primary challenger for Florida's 23rd Congressional District, joined us to stand with the community and share why he's running. Here's what he had to say when he met with us on the ground.
I'm Oliver Larkin. I'm a Democratic primary candidate in Florida's 23rd Congressional District here in Boca Raton and Broward County. I'm running without corporate PAC money for things like Medicare For All, a Green New Deal, raising the minimum wage to $25 an hour, and taking on the corruption that is endemic in the Republican Party that is undermining our democracy so that we can stand up for things like voting rights, civil rights. And that's why I'm showing up here today to meet folks in the community. It's really inspiring being out here with Indivisible Boca Raton and the Hope and Action folks from Broward County. So I just want to thank everyone in Indivisible for being involved. I'm looking forward to introducing myself and meeting many, many more of you for our primary on August 18th, 2026.
What inspired you to run for the 23rd District?
So I'm a 10-year campaign staffer and organizer, and I really just got tired of waiting to see a candidate who reflects my values and the values of our district. I've been very upset by Congressman Moskowitz's absence at events like this and his antagonism towards progressives. I believe that now, in the face of the Republican trifecta in Washington, that we need unified Democrats to stand together to support one another and to build a governing majority and electoral coalition that can take the House of Majority back in 2026. So that was a big inspiration for me to run. I just felt so strongly that I needed to be the candidate that I hadn't seen step up yet, because we deserve a choice in this election, and now we have one.
Aside from being out here with us, which we really appreciate, what are some key differences between you and Darren Moskowitz?
Yeah, so I think number one, it's the corporate PAC money that Congressman Moskowitz has accepted over $370,000 from corporate PACs in the 2024 election. I'm rejecting corporate PAC money and money from special interests because I believe that campaigns should be publicly funded, but until we can pass legislation to get there, I'm depending on grassroots small dollar donations. I'm not depending on business PACs and corporate lobbyists. And furthermore, it's also having to do with the stock trading. Congressman Moskowitz has traded nearly $6 million in stock while in office in just 2.5 years. I don't own any stock, and I believe we need a ban on congressional stock trading. And I believe things like corporate PAC money and congressional stock trading rise above partisan angles. And this is something that we can actually use to build the base of the Democratic Party if we become the party that stands up for the power of democracy over the dollar. So that's another big reason why I'm running, and a big contrast where this is about being free to fight for Medicare For All by not taking money from health insurance companies and lobbyists. This is about being free to fight for a Green New Deal without taking money from Florida Power and Light. So the corporate PACs that are funding Congressman Moskowitz's campaign, those are exactly the kind of corrupt interests that I'm about to take on. And another example, over $27,000 from the Faneuil family, the sugar billionaires that are about to push through this rock mine in Palm Beach County and that are about to make an enormous amount of business from Donald Trump's switch to cane sugar. Congressman Moskowitz has taken their money, so he's not able to fight effectively for Everglades restoration and to get big sugar out of the Everglades. So that's another thing that I'm fighting for, and I've got, for every corporate PAC, there's probably an issue that we can point to. So those are a few of the key differences. I would also say Congressman Moskowitz was the only member of the Florida delegation among Democrats to vote for Trump's immigration law in January. The Larkin-Riley Act that's led to over half of people in ICE detention currently having no criminal conviction on their record. That's a big reason why we're out here today protesting the GEO Group and their ICE contracts here in Boca Raton, where the GEO Group is headquartered. We can't have Democrats who side with the Republicans and throw immigrant communities under the bus. So I will always stand with the immigrant community and anyone else who the Trump administration is attempting to marginalize.
If you could get a message out to Republican voters, what would that message be? Why should they take a look at you and consider voting for you?
Yeah, I think if you're a conservative and you believe in the principles of small government, I believe that with the United States being the highest per capita cost on earth for health insurance and being the highest income country on earth not to guarantee healthcare as a human right, we can actually lower costs lower spending on our healthcare, if we guarantee Medicare for all while giving 100% universal healthcare to every man, woman, and child in this country, I believe if you believe in small government, then you should not agree with these illegal ICE detentions and extrajudicial raids that are infringing on our 4th and 5th Amendment rights to habeas corpus and the right to privacy. So if you believe in small government and are not okay with these police state tactics that we're seeing that are increasingly infringing not only on immigrants but on United States citizens, then you have a place for us in our coalition, because we really do need to reclaim the mantle of freedom, liberty, and democracy. And I believe that's what the Democratic Party can represent with more candidates like me who are free from corporate PAC money, who don't trade congressional stocks, and are willing to get out there and fight for our rights that are guaranteed under the Constitution.
Okay, just one last question for you. What are some of your priorities? What will you tackle first if elected in this district?
Getting corporate money out of elections and overturning Citizens United, I would immediately be one of the strongest proponents in Congress for a constitutional amendment to overturn Citizens United. Also to ban gerrymandering, for automatic voter registration, for making Election Day a federal holiday. We need to overhaul our democracy, getting gerrymandering out, getting the corruption out, re-implementing the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act to re-establish the voting rights that have been fought for by previous generations that the Supreme Court is now tearing away, like we see with gerrymandering in Florida and Texas. So getting corporate money out of elections and fixing our democracy is one. Medicare for all, I would also be one of the strongest proponents in the Democratic caucus to get private health insurance out, the profit motive out of our health care, so that we can fight for Medicare for all. And then thirdly, fighting for a pathway to citizenship. We need to get back to things like amnesty, which Ronald Reagan did, so that we're protecting our dreamers, we're protecting people who were brought here as children, the parents of dreamers. We have 11 million plus people in this country who need legal security with a pathway to citizenship or pathway to legal residency. And here in Florida's 23rd district, where over a third of our residents were born outside the United States, we need someone to stand up and fight for them and not side with the Republican Party. So those are my 3 issues.
Thank you so much for doing this interview with us. How can people at home find you and follow you online?
OliverforCongress.com. That has all of our policy information. That has information on when and how to vote in our August 18th, 2026 primary. We've also got ballot petitions to help us get on the ballot. And you can follow us on social media, OliverforCongress.com, and sign up for my email list too. I promise not to spam you.